Hey, it's Michelle from Michelle Creative, and today's video is an introduction to Procreate. I'll be giving you a bit of a tour around the interface of the app and showing you where all of the tools are so that if you're new to the app, you can get started playing with it. So here we are in the gallery. This is when you first open the app. You'll see any past projects in here, and you can start a new project by clicking on the plus up in the top right corner. You can select from their different canvas sizes or create your own, and I'm just going to select the screen size for now. If you'd like to resize your canvas, just pinch the screen and you can adjust it. Okay, let's have a look at the Actions menu, which is the wrench in the top left. So underneath the Actions menu, you'll see 6 options: Add, Canvas, Share, Video, Prefs, and Help. So we'll go through each one really quickly. Under Add is where you will go to insert a photo or to add text. Under Canvas is where you can crop and resize your canvas, as well as find the animation assist and drawing guides, and some additional information about your canvas if you need to look up your resolution, color profiles, and that kind of thing. Under Share is where you can export your work to your iPad or to your cloud drive. Under Video, you can export a time lapse of all of the work that you've done, and it will save a video of the entire process that you went through to create your artwork. Under Preferences, you can change the look of your interface, a light interface versus dark. You can change it to a right-hand interface, and there's just a bunch of different things there that you can go through and have a look at. And finally, under Help, you can access some of Procreate's actual help resources. Okay, let's have a look at the Adjustments menu, which is up in the top left beside the wrench. It looks like a magic wand. And I'm not going to actually go through all of these individual options because they are a little bit more advanced, and it would take a whole video on its own. But I did just want to point out where they are. Beside the Adjustments menu is the Selection tool, and we're not going to go through this one either in this video, but basically it just allows you to select different items on your canvas. The final tool in the top left is the Transform tool, and this lets you select specific things on your canvas. Because we don't have anything to select, I can't show you that, but I will show it to you later. If we move over to the left side of the screen, you'll see 2 sliders. The top one is for the brush sizing, and the bottom one is for the brush opacity. Okay, so let's actually have a look at the brushes. If you head to the top right, you'll see the brush icon, which will open your brush library, and all of the different brushes are in there. You can select any brush just by clicking on it. So here I've got the monoline brush selected under the calligraphy set. And then to draw on your screen, just touch the screen and drag your Apple Pencil and you will draw with that particular brush. So now I can show you how the resize works. So by increasing the size of the brush and then drawing in the same way, you can see that it has a thicker stroke. By decreasing, you can see that it has a really thin stroke. So I'll just increase the size again, and then I can show you the opacity. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's partially transparent. So now that I have some brush strokes on my canvas, I can show you the Transform tool again, which was the arrow in the top left. So when I click on that, that allows me to reposition any of the items that I've drawn by clicking and dragging them around my canvas. So let's go back to the brush library and just try out another brush just to see how that works. I'll resize a little bit, and you can see that it has a completely different look from the monoline brush. And here I'll try an airbrush as well, just to give you an example of what that looks like. The best thing to do with Procreate is to just try out all the brushes and experiment with them. Another quick thing that I want to show you is how to undo. So you can actually undo anything that you've done in Procreate by just tapping on the screen with 2 fingers, or using the undo button over on the left. And you can redo by tapping 3 fingers on the screen or using the redo button. Okay, so let's continue with the next tool. Beside the brush tool is the smudge tool. It looks like a little finger. And this lets you just smudge any of the brush strokes. So you select it and just drag across the screen and it will smudge the colors. Next to that is the eraser tool. Again, you can select different eraser brushes and it does exactly what you would think. It erases anything that is on that layer. Next, we'll have a look at the layers panel, which is the two little squares in the top. So everything in Procreate is done on layers. You can add layers or remove them. You can move the layers around, and the items on one layer stay together and will overlap each other. Another quick trick is you can click clear on a layer to delete everything on that layer if you want to start fresh. Okay, so let's move to the last tool on the top right, which is all of the color tools. You'll see there's different options. There's the disc, the color disc, which allows you to select different colors. You can select a color from the outer wheel and then change the brightness or the saturation of the color in that inner circle. There's also a classic color picker where again you can select from the hue, the saturation, and the brightness. There's a harmony color picker, a value color picker, which is better when you have a specific value you're going for, and then you can also create different color palettes where you just select from that palette and use that color. So just to demonstrate how the layers work, you can see that I have those 3 brush strokes on layer 1, and now I'm going to do another one on layer 2. And if I select it, I can move it around without affecting the bottom layer, so any of those strokes on the bottom layer. It's completely separate. Okay, so one last thing before we wrap up, let's revisit how to export or share your work. So from the Actions menu, I chose Share and then JPEG, and that will allow me to export, and then I can choose where I want to export to. So I clicked Save Image, and that will save to my iPad. So I hope that you found this introduction to Procreate helpful. The best thing that you can do really is just get started and play with the tools, play with the different brushes and settings, and see how they work. It's really all about experimenting and having fun. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.